Let me touch then on the second topic, which is this issue of how to ensure better payment, prompt payment. As I said, the Forum's got a really good track record on this. I started my business in 1991, in the summer of that year, and it was a problem then. And I think the Labour government in '97 made a genuine attempt to try to tackle it through bringing in legislation. The problem is it hasn't really worked. There are still significant problems. And of course it comes down to that relationship, doesn't it, between the smaller supplier, very often, and the larger customer. Are you really going to use legislation in those circumstances? It's unlikely. So I think what we're trying to do is to take a more practical approach, to think about how we can improve those customer relationships and how we can get a better cash flow. And what does that mean in practice? Well, three things really. One, government to lead by example. You know, we are a major buyer of goods and services. We should lead by example. Trade bodies are really well placed to deal with this because they can anonymise the information so it isn't awkward for you and the major customer you're working for, in order to make sure that actually we get this evidence out and we can start to challenge those people who may indeed have signed up, but maybe not quite fulfilling the target that they've agreed to. So let's look at that. The second thing is the prompt payment code. This is a good principle. It's basically saying that businesses sign up to a minimum standard. The Institute of Credit Management, who've led on this, and we've worked with them on this, have got over 1,000 major businesses sign up to that now. That's a big improvement in the last 12 months. I want that to go further. I want to make sure that we're looking down through the whole of the supply chain so that actually we've got more than 1,000 businesses, and if there are key sectors that are missing, or key groups of businesses, I want to make sure we spread that out. So that's an area where Phil and myself and a number of other small business organisations are going to meet shortly to really get under the skin of that issue. And the third element of this is promoting good cash flow management. You know, I was stunned by a statistic we were going through recently, which came, I think, from one of the major trade bodies. Half of UK business transactions occur without pre-agreed payment terms. Just stop and think about that for a moment. It tells you that leaves a huge opportunity for much of the distress and difficulties that then follows on from that. So it needs to change. Now, working with the Institute, working with the Forum and others, what we're looking to do is how do we change that bad practice into good practice? How do we help you do that? What is the information that you need? What is the advice you need? I think that's a really important area, that actually if we could get that down to less than a quarter, then that would make a substantial difference to the basic problem that we're talking about.